Welcome to Immigration Quicktake. This is Ellie Rutledge Silver with the American Immigration and Lawyers Association. A few days ago, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia passed away, and here to discuss what this means for the upcoming case on President Obama's executive actions on DAPA and DACA is Beth Werlin, Director of Policy at the American Immigration Council. Beth, thanks for joining me. Where does this case currently stand?
Well, as you know, the Supreme Court granted cert in the case at the end of January, and now the parties are preparing their briefs. The federal government's brief is going to be due in early March, and then the amicus briefs in support of DACA and DAPA are going to be filed a week later. And so that includes briefs by a whole range of parties, including AILA and the American Immigration Council. After the amicus briefs are filed, we'll see the brief from Texas and the other states that filed the lawsuit. They'll be filing at the end of March, and then we expect that oral argument will take place probably towards the end of April, with a decision from the court by the end of June.
What does having 8 justices on the bench mean for this case moving forward?
In this case, I don't think Scalia's departure really is going to have a significant impact on the case. The reality is this case really wasn't about Justice Scalia. The precedent is clear. The president was acting well within his statutory authority when he set immigration policies. And as recently as 2012, the Supreme Court in the Arizona case held that the executive branch has prosecutorial discretion and can decide how to use its limited enforcement resources. So this case really fits squarely within that precedent. And you'll remember that the Arizona decision was actually written by Justice Kennedy, and Justice Roberts signed on to that decision as well. You know, whether Justice Scalia was going to join this decision, join the majority in this case, we'll never know. Seems unlikely. He was in the dissent in Arizona. But as I said, this case really wasn't about Justice Scalia, and having 8 justices shouldn't impact the case.
What happens if there's a 4-4 split?
If it turned out that there was a 4-4 split, again, which I think is pretty unlikely in this case, the underlying decision, the Fifth Circuit's decision in this case, would stand. However, the Supreme Court's decision wouldn't count as a precedent, and it seems very likely that the issue would be back before the Supreme Court, either in the next term or soon after.
Thanks, Beth, for joining me. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates from the American Immigration and Lawyers Association.